Okay, good morning, everybody. Today is April 27th, 2020. And so you should be starting with your packet. This is April 27 to 30. And please make sure that we are only working on Tuesday today. We are not working ahead. So we're going to flip past all of our work from yesterday until we get to Tuesday. If you want to practice writing the date, today is 4/28, 2020. Okay, so we're going to start with our phonics practice, which involves using open syllables. And when there is an open syllable, we learned yesterday that there would be a long vowel sound. So I would like to read through these words with you before we start. We have the word no, then noble. That puts that LE syllable that we studied last week. Male, female, baby, basic, bacon, relate, return, lion. So word sort, your directions here are look at the spelling words in the box, match each word to the long vowel sound in its open syllable, and write the spelling word on the lines below. So we're going to first look for long A's. So I know that male has a long A, and if male has a long A, then we should probably easily, actually, I don't want to give you the answers, but I just gave you a hint. So I'm just giving you one example for each one, okay? So there's your help with your long A's. Let's go to long E's. Long E, and remember if it's a long vowel sound, we actually hear the letters. So return. I do have a long E there, okay? So I'm going to get rid of return. Then you fill out 2, 3, you fill out 6, 7. You're going to find 4 by yourself. I'll help you with 8. A long O is a word I should hear the O sound in. So because it's an open syllable, no is actually a long O. The O in no is actually a long O. Good. Okay. B, missing letters. The vowel is missing from each spelling word below. Write the missing letter in the box and then write the spelling word correctly on the line. So this should be a little bit easier for you because you can just match up with your word box at the top. So which word has these same letters? And of course it's re, turn. And we're emphasizing that the vowel is a long vowel, right? So then we just rewrite the word. Return. 2 syllables in that. Re and then turn. Good job. So you're going to fill out the rest there. Okay, we're going to continue working on contractions. And just to remind us that a contraction is a shortened form of a word or words. So contraction is our main thing here we're doing. It's a shortened form of a word or words. An apostrophe replaces the drop letter or letters in a contraction. And remember, that is what an apostrophe looks like. It basically looks just like a comma, except it's up higher, right? So I will go to the party. We can actually take the 2 words, I will, and combine them to make a contraction, I'll. Okay. So your directions ask for you to underline each contraction on the line and then to write the word or words that form it. So the lines are kind of hard to see, but just over to the side, okay? So number 1, let's read it together. Let's meet before the game. So the contraction is obviously the word that has the apostrophe. So what 2 words does let's stand for? And hopefully you came up with the answer of let us. And let's see if that makes sense. Let us meet before the game. Yes, that does make sense, okay? Always the way that you check yourself with contractions is you go back and you fill in the 2 words to see if it makes sense. All right, so today you're going to complete 2 through 8 alone there. We're going to keep working on contractions on the next page. Again, reminding ourselves of what the definition is. A contraction is a shortened form of a word or words. An apostrophe replaces the dropped letter or letters in a contraction. I'm just going to draw an example of an apostrophe for my own reference. And now we have 2 columns here, one for contractions and one showing the words that make up the contraction. So we have doesn't, and doesn't makes up the word does not. He's makes up he is. We're is formed with the 2 words we are, and it'll is formed with the 2 words it will. So in the first section, you're going to underline each contraction, and on the line, you're going to write 2 words that form it. So number 1 says, the team didn't score many points. Didn't is our contraction. It uses an apostrophe. And I think that the word, or the contraction rather, didn't is made up with the 2 words did not. Because, boys and girls, anytime you see the N apostrophe T, that's always forming the word not, okay? And remember what I just told you on the last page, fill this word back in to make sure you got it right. So let's see, the team did not score many points. Does that make sense? And it does. Okay, so I have that one right. So you'll work on 2 through 4. Now let's look at the bottom section. It says to rewrite each sentence, replacing the underlined words in the sentence with a contraction. So number 5 just does the reverse of what we've been doing. It gives you the 2 words, and now you're gonna fill in a contraction. So I have I will, and I believe that the contraction for I will is I'll. I use a capital I, very important, apostrophe 2 L's, okay? So I'll see you at the game, and yes, that still makes sense. So you do number 6 alone, okay? Now we're gonna go to our 2-step word problems. And the directions ask us to think about the first step question and then to solve the problem. So we're not asked to draw a picture. We're not asked to draw comparison bars. We're just pretty much asked to think about what we're being asked to do in the question and then to solve. Okay, so whatever method works for you is the one that you can use. We will do 1 and 2. We will do 1 together. I'll set you up for number 2. You'll do the rest alone. Okay. Number 1 says, a farmer has 2 crates of milk for sale. That's important. Each crate has 24 bottles. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. He has 2 crates, so I'm actually going to draw a crate because that's going to kind of help me. In the first crate, it says each crate has 24 bottles. So in the first crate, I'm going to write 24, and in the next crate, I'm going to write 24. So that helps me understand the first part of this problem, okay? It says that he sold 35 bottles. Now, how many bottles of milk are left? So the first thing we have to do is we have to figure out, well, how many did he start with anyways? So how do we do that? We add both of these crates together because he has 2 crates and there's 24. Each crate has 24 bottles. So 2 crates, 24 bottles in each. So 24 plus 24 is going to give me 48. And if you need to see that vertically, then 24 plus 24 in my ones column, 4 plus 4 is 8, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so the farmer had 48 bottles, but now what's the next step? He sells 35 of those 48. How many are left? And left shows us that we need to subtract. So we're going to go 48 minus 35. Okay, and no borrowing here, so this one should be pretty smooth. 8 minus 5 is 3, and 4 minus 3 is 1. And then our label, of course, is bottles. L-E, it's got that syllable we've been studying last week. Okay, number 2, I'm going to set you up, and you're going to do the rest alone, okay? Make sure you're showing your work, boys and girls. All right, there are 26 children at the library, 26 children. That's going to be important. 12 are girls. The rest are boys. I'm going to stop right there, okay? I've got 26 children at the library. There are 12 girls. So right there, I'm just going to go ahead and figure out how many boys I have before I even keep going. Sorry, I wrote that subtraction bar twice. Okay, so 26 total, 12 girls. All right, so 6 minus 2 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So right there, I know before I go any further in the problem that there's 14 boys. Now the rest of the problem you have to figure out because there's still another step. This is not the answer. We haven't even gotten to what the question is asking. So it says then 7 more boys come to the library. How many boys are now at the library? So you need to go from there and figure out there's a second equation in this problem before you can get to the answer. Of course, the label is boys, okay? So you're gonna work on 2 through 6 as far as your 2 steps. There's 2 steps to each one of these problems, boys and girls. So if you're only doing 1 step, you know you've got it wrong. You need to do 2 steps. Okay, so now we're gonna do our rough draft. And you guys, what's kind of nice, and I didn't express this last Tuesday, is that you actually have 2 days to do your rough drafts, okay? So if you're feeling very energetic today, maybe do 3 paragraphs. And if you're not feeling very energetic today, then maybe only do 2 paragraphs and you can do the 3 tomorrow. For me, I'm gonna start with doing 2, okay? So I've gotta go to my graphic organizer, remind myself what I'm writing about, remind myself what my each one of my paragraphs is gonna be about. So my main idea, oh, that's right, I'm writing about a boy who went fishing. And then in my first paragraph, I'm gonna talk about the setting. And in my third paragraph, I'm gonna talk about what it was that he caught that was unusual, because that was kind of the main idea there. Okay, so I am going to write my name as Miss Rudolph. We don't have to worry about the checkbox yet, okay? But there are some reminders here for us. All right, so I'm going to start off with a question. Have you ever had anything unusual happen to you? Question mark. Now, boys and girls, I'm not going to worry about spelling, okay? Right now, I'm just getting all my creative thoughts down. That's what good writers do. So have you ever had anything unusual happen to you? Well, I have. It was the most interesting day of my life. Wait until you hear what happened. Okay, so my first paragraph is catching all of my readers' attention. It's very exciting. I'm thrilled as a reader to read on. So I'm doing a good job as a writer because I'm pulling in my audience. Okay, now I've got to remind myself, what was my next paragraph about? Okay, my next paragraph was about the setting. So all I'm going to do is describe, remember the place, the time, who I was with. Okay, first, let me tell you about the day. We set off, my dad and I, for a normal fishing trip. It was not an unusual day. There were a few clouds. The water at the lake was clear. The temperature outside was comfortable. Okay, so now I've given my main idea sentence. I've given some ideas of what that day actually looked like. And you know what, today I'm not really feeling like going on to paragraph 3. So I'm just gonna stop here. And then tomorrow I can do paragraphs 3, 4, and 5, which I'm excited about because paragraph 3, I get to describe what happened on this day that my dad and I went fishing. Very special day. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here with my rough draft. I'll come back to that on Wednesday. All right, boys and girls, so remember, as you're doing your work in your packet today, if there's anything I've gone over, if I've moved too fast, then just simply pause and watch or do the work that I have shown you and then restart the video, okay? And you can always replay anything. Then if there's any questions, you can write me on Class Dojo. And I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and that you are very nice to your brothers and sisters and know that I am missing you tremendously. Okay, guys, have a great Tuesday. Bye.